though the Patriots lost, did it still feel like a win, playmaker, for Bill Belichick?
Absolutely. Oh, my God, absolutely. It was an absolute win for Bill Belichick. You know, we make this comparison, even though it's not apples to apples comparison. Who won when Tom left and went on to Tampa Bay, and he won a Super Bowl, and then Bill didn't make the playoffs, and they said, oh, Tom. But this was a head-to-head matchup. And it's not where it's quarterback and quarterback. These guys were actually going against one another. It was Tom Brady going up against that defense that Bill Belichick put on the field and that he called. And I mean, all of those guys on that defense stepped up and played for him. Tom Brady had 0 touchdowns in the first half. 0 touchdowns. Now, before last week, they had scored like 10 straight games of scoring at least 30 straight points. Now, the Rams held them 24. 0 touchdowns in the first half. Man, and then he took a rookie quarterback who had only -1 yard rushing and played this thing to the end with that rookie quarterback who outplayed Tom. Completion percentage, Tom was 51, he was 75. Yards, 269 to 275. Tom had 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. This man had 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. 101 passer rating. Tom only 70 passer rating. Absolutely, Bill Belichick won, and he made a statement, stop talking that noise, that I am not the GOAT of what I do, because I took the GOAT of quarterbacks and made him look like that. Absolutely, Bill.
Well, see, to me, I'm gonna get a bit more specific and say why I feel that Bill Belichick wakes up this morning looking a lot better than we realize. Let's understand that this is an 8-time champion. The man has 6 Super Bowl titles as a head coach and 2 as a defensive coordinator. And we sat here literally, all of us throughout the media, across the nation, everybody was talking about, was it really about Tom? Was it really about Bill Belichick? I mean, Bill Belichick's only 36-30 without Tom Brady. I mean, what has he done? Okay, this is what they say, okay? And they were talking about that. And then they talked about his truculent personality, or a bit stoic, more so than truculent and what have you. They brought up things of that nature. They talked about Tom Brady departing from New England, how Bill Belichick didn't meet with him face-to-face. You harped on how disrespectful it was and how Tom Brady deserved better. All of this stuff was being said. Bill Belichick had nothing to say. He went out there, and then we looked at the Bucs team. Even though they didn't have Rob Gronkowski, none of us brought that up. They did not have Rob Gronkowski because we know Tom Brady would have utilized him particularly.
But we didn't know that when we talked about it on Friday.
I know that, but what I'm saying is they didn't have Rob Gronkowski in those weather conditions on very familiar turf because he was there for a few Super Bowls himself and played in New England all of those years. So he would have definitely been able to adapt to that situation. I feel bad for Antonio Brown because I know under normal circumstances, I think he would have made that catch for the touchdown late in the game that would have closed the deal. Having said all of that, the reality is that we've seen Tom Brady have better games before. We've seen Tom Brady struggle before. We've never seen him look confused.
Yeah.
And last night, he looked confused. And to know that you coached a guy for damn near 20 years, coached him for 20 years, okay? And everybody, and I even brought this up Friday. I said, excuse me, everybody talking about, Tom Brady, Bill Belichick's coming and what have you. Did anybody take into account the fact that Tom Brady's been playing for this man? And no matter what you try to do, you ain't going to be able to throw a wrinkle into the equation because Tom Brady is going to figure it out. When you rave about Tom Brady, you don't talk about just his ability. You talk about his brilliance because he controls everything. He sees everything coming. He's 3, 4, 5 steps ahead of the competition, et cetera, et cetera. All right, we saw that, okay? And last night, the brother looked confused sometimes. And if there's anything that is a testament to the greatness of Bill Belichick, if you can confuse Tom Brady, not just confuse Tom Brady because of his greatness, but because you coached him for 20 years and you could still find it to confuse him, that just shows me the brilliance of Bill Belichick right there.
Right, and it's confusion after confirmation. Let me tell you what I mean by that, because people will be on Twitter, Stephen. What do you mean look confused? Look confused last year. Yeah, last year he was in a new offense. He was in a whole new offense. He was learning new players in a new offense. But confused after confirmation, he has that offense down now. He went and won a Super Bowl with it. So now he has it in his spirit and grafted in his spirit. He knows where his outlets are. He knows where everything is. And Bill Belichick took it all away. I mean, he changed up who he was doubling. You saw Tom trying to get through reads, and then to see Tom like that was absolutely, and it was incredible. It was hard to stop watching. I just kept watching, and I kept waiting. I kept waiting on the bus out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, oh, they'll pull away soon. They'll come back. They'll pull away. They'll do something and go.
Because he always does.
And he always does. He always does.
Especially even in the fourth, yeah.
But he didn't. But he did not. And we're sitting here saying, and I'm not so sure, and I won't confirm it because I hear everybody saying, well, if Tom had got the ball back with 50 seconds.
I'm confirming. I confirm it.
No,
I don't know why you wouldn't. Why can't you? Why can't you? That's ridiculous, though. That's ridiculous, though.
Even though they gave him his 50th game-winning drive in that game last night,
Michael Irvin.
If he had gotten that ball back with 50 seconds, we cannot confirm that he was going to drive that ball down.
You keep talking this blasphemy. You keep talking this blasphemy. Let me tell you what I'm going to do. Let me tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to stop calling you the playmaker. I'm going to start calling you Michael. You keep starting this nonsense. Let me tell you something right now. Listen. I understand where you're coming from, but you're trying to tell me with 59 seconds left, this is Tom Brady, all I need is a field goal. All I need is a field goal. You trying to tell me that you know what? You will question whether or not he'd get them in field goal range?
As badly as Tom wanted the field goal, Tom wanted to come in here and drop a 50 burger on you. Tom couldn't. It wasn't about what Tom wanted. It wasn't about what he wanted. It was about what Bill Belichick took from him. He snapped it.
I understand that. A field goal. Tom Brady needed a field goal. That's almost the equivalent of Tom Brady needing a couple of first downs to seal a deal in an NFC Championship game, which is why Matt LaFleur should never be able to live that down.
Couldn't get
That's
a
almost
field goal in the first half. I'm sure he wanted one in the first half. He didn't like touchdowns, too.
Please.
He couldn't get any of that.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.